Hi, this is Bill Singleton, and today I'm painting a Pipevine Swallowtail. So it's towards the end of the monsoon season in Tucson, and the yard is literally full of butterflies right now. It's really cool that at the end of the monsoon, all the ground and plants are well hydrated, so they're full of life, and all the insect life comes out also, and all the butterflies. And this guy landed right next to me in my backyard on the concrete, so I snapped a photo of him, and that's what I'm painting from. So as you see here, I started out with the shadow area. Well, I painted a little bit of background, just blocked it in with my crazy brush. And oh, by the way, I'm using Holbein Acryla Gouache for this. This is part of my nature journal. It's a nature journal page on my toned paper. So I use toned gray paper, and the Acryla Gouache works great on that. So I'm painting it with the Acryla Gouache, and I'm just using 4 colors. I'm just using black and white, and primary blue, and yellow ochre. So the entire painting is with those 4 colors. So I blocked in the shadow. Now I'm working on the body here. I speeded this up, obviously. It's about, I think, 8 minutes. It took me about 45 minutes to paint. And let's see. So now I'm warming that shadow up a little bit, making it a little darker right next to where the insect was. And one thing I noticed, the wings are black, but they seem to be a little bit transparent. So I can see a little bit of that yellow pavement behind it. So now I'm working on the hind wings, and they're blue. They're an iridescent blue. And to get that, first I just blocked in a darker blue, blocked in the body a little bit blue also. Coming back with a little bit black on the body and some of the wings, capturing some of the wing structure and the body structure here. Sorry, the camera gets a little wobbly sometimes. I had the camera really close to where I'm painting, and I kept hitting it with the tip of my brush, so sorry about that. So with now with the darker, the black, I'm sort of defining some of these structural things, the antennas, and some of the little bit of the wing pattern here. So this is mainly black, probably a little touch of blue in it. All right, and coming back to the hind wings here, putting in the darker blue here. So once again, this is primary blue and black are the pigments here. So blocking that in. Now these pipe vines, oh here I'm putting in the blue, or now where the light's hitting it. Now the really cool thing about these Pipevine Swallowtails is they're like flying jewels. They're beautiful. Now I'm painting the top, which the top side of the butterfly, which is the hind wings have this iridescent blue color to them, very eye-catching. The underside is maybe even more beautiful, which I'm not painting here, but it has a series of patterns, red dots, which is, I think, to warn predators. So the interesting thing about Pipevine Swallowtails is they're called pipevine because that's the diet of the caterpillars. They grow on pipevine plants, also called, in botanical terms, Aristolochia. And Aristolochias they have healing properties, but they're also poisonous. And these butterflies have adapted to the poisons. They internalize them, and it doesn't hurt them at all, but they become toxic to any predators that eat them. So the red dots on the hind wings on the underside is a warning to predators not to eat them, that they're toxic. So, and then the top wing here, which I'm doing, is mixing the blue and white mostly for the highlights of the lighter blue areas. And coming back in with yep. more highlights. This is basically just blue and white. Just adding these little pointilles of light where the light hits. So coming in and defining the eyes and some of these little spots on the body. So this is a little bit of yellow ochre and black and white. So then defining some of a little bit of the leaf structure here. Once again, it's yellow ochre and gray, which is white and black. Finding some of the scale patterns here. I'm using the Holbein brand of Acryla Gouache, and I really like it because it dries pretty much the same color as it is wet. And after working with acrylics for years, anybody that's worked with acrylics knows that acrylics don't do that. There's quite a bit of color shift from wet to dry. So that's and there's always some color shift with any paint, but these Holbein Acryla Gouache has the least amount of color shift that I've ever dealt with. And it's also very matte, which is good for if you're going to reproduce things, scan them for publishing. So using the Acryla Gouache here and defining the leaf structure a little more, the body structure. So it's starting to take shape. Now put in a little bit of these areas where the light's catching it. So these are actually the same colors I was doing, that yellow ochre, but a little more white this time. So it's really gonna capture the light more. So now it's really starting to take shape. Keeping towards the end here. So just putting a few highlights. Let's see, I'll come in and do the head. Bring a little black in to sort of redefine the shapes that I messed up with the white. Okay, now just the final touches here. Some darker blacks to really bring the depth up. Touch up these antennas. And then I'll probably put a little bit of structural work. And I'm just about done here. Just put a little bit of highlights on these antennas. Coming in. And that's about it. And like I said, I just used 4 colors of paint. And I used 2 brushes. And I used tone gray paper. A little bit of blue shining through those top wings from the hind wings underneath. So I think that's about it. Looks like it's done. Yeah, here's my palette. You can see the 2 brushes I used, the 4 colors, and there's the final drawing. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like it. Thanks a lot. Bye.